Hiya, it's Alan Stockdale again with my great friend Debbie Anderson. Just here for another video on YouTube and another podcast as well. So in this one, we're going to have a bit more of a free-flowing conversation, no specific theme. But the first bit, I want to tell Debbie, because we've not spoke for nearly a week, and I've had a few experiences while I've been meditating, and there was quite profound, to be honest, that a bit really mind stretching. So I just wanted to tell Debbie about those experiences, and obviously anyone who's listening as well, and then get Debbie's take on that. And then Debbie's got some questions from a guy or a lady, whichever, who messaged her on YouTube and asked her some questions. And I think the questions are very interesting. I think the answers, what we'll attempt to give, might be quite entertaining as well, about timelines, multiple infinite timelines and things of that nature. So that's what we're going to do today. So how's it going, Debbie? How's your week been?
Great. Oh, it's good. It's kind of crazy energies I'm experiencing. I'm sure others are too.
Well, what have we just said before we came on air about my computer?
Oh man,
madness!
Technological
nightmare.
Nightmare.
The word is, yeah, with Zoom and everything, yeah. But anyway,
yeah, right.
We'll not bore the audience with all that crap, but yeah, a nightmare getting to you. So I'm a bit flustered, as you can see. My hair's all over the place. I don't sort it out or anything.
It is.
I
noticed.
Sorry about that, viewers.
Yeah.
Right. So shall I tell you about this?
Tell me. I'm excited to hear.
Okay. So this is the first one I had, and this will probably answer maybe the question later on what the person asked you. So this experience I had was probably nearly a week ago now, sometime last week. And what it was, I was asking about reality, as in, what is reality? How does it interact with us? I've got all these bigger pictures of how things work. Anyone who's read my book will know the wild theories I've got, which resonate really well with me, but not with everyone. Well, anyway, so this experience, what happened was I was shown by my higher self all different timelines, and I was shown that some people are it's really hard to explain this to us. I'll try my best. So let's say you're looking down at timelines, and let's say there's an infinite amount of them all in front of you, right? And you as a soul have now come into creation. You are going to have an experience on Earth, and before you come to Earth, you want to be whoever it may be, the President of the United States. Let's be ridiculous. Okay. Right? You want to be a legitimate one, yeah, and all that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, probably shouldn't say stuff like that. But anyway, so let's just say, for instance, you want to be the President of the United States. So you're looking at all these different timelines in front of you, and I was shown that it's not just a matter of jumping into a body and coming into Earth and having experiences as, let's say, Alan Stockdale or Debbie Anderson. I was actually shown different timelines of like an infinite possibilities of me having this experience as the President of the United States and ending up there. So that's like my end goal for the major goal of my life, of that experience, is to get there. And what was shown was an infinite amount of different ways to get there. So therefore, I could jump into all these infinite ones and experience all the infinite variations of getting from born to being the President of the United States. I mean, one could be assassinated at the end, one could be not even making it, but in between that, in the lifetime in between. And I was shown then that Mandela effects, for people that's awake to this sort of spirituality and somehow tunes into them, that's why it's the awake people that see the Mandela effects, because what they're when we jump from one timeline to another. But because we're infinitely on all these other timelines, somehow we're connected and somehow we know. Like, for instance, me, I was watching the old Star Wars with my wife at the weekend, and I was saying, look at C-3PO's leg. It's silver now. It were always gold when I were a child. Tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people, think the same as me, and there's also millions of people that say no, he's always had a silver leg. Well, what it is, that's just one little difference in the timeline. So what I was shown as well. Now, I'm not saying I resonate with this information, but this is the gist of what I was shown and how I've interpreted it. I'm not saying this is the truth. It's just how it looks to me at this present moment, right? So I was shown as it looked that, for instance, let's say I'm this first person that's going to do this timeline, and I jump from one timeline to the other, and I end up going from being born to the president, and I go this certain way, right? Down different timelines, to this one, to that one, to this one, to that one, to get there. I was shown that once that's been done, then that's like a set track. So that's like a way. So let's say another soul comes in, right?
Yeah.
And wants to be the president of the United States. Well, that's already been done. And they can actually choose the exact timeline they want to go down, because let's say I've already done it, and it's like a recording of the way I've jumped from birth forward to being president. So another person can come along, and they might want to experience the same thing as what I have, but in a different reality as a different person, a different president. Now, like I said, I don't know if I've interpreted that right. I was just shown that seemed to be the case, what I was shown. But I was 100% certain that there's these infinite possibilities, and you're jumping from one to the other as you make decisions. So that's why, you make a decision in life and you seem to turn right or left, and then that branches off to another one. Well, I was just showing how the timelines work. So that's one of the experiences I had, which was quite profound.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, but that's nothing compared to the next two I had.
Really?
Really. But I'm telling you now, Debbie, I can't, it's impossible to put into words the feeling, what I felt when I was having this experience. I mean, there may be people listening to this and they may have gone through it years ago, what I experienced. I have no idea. But I'll just tell you exactly what happened. So I went outside, I'm doing my meditating in the sun. I was grounding myself, doing my usual things. I started by putting the source protection around myself as a sphere, and then I did some healing. So I went off and did my healing like I do in my little sphere. Then when I come back, I just laid there and I just put the intention that I just wanted to just be at peace with source. That's all I said to myself. I just want to be at peace, and I just enjoy that, that really relaxed feeling when you're doing something in the meditation, but you don't want to come out of it. You just want to enjoy that lovely, relaxed, chill, blissful feeling. So that's where I was. So I was doing that, and then as I was doing it, I felt myself like melting into into reality, as if I was like laid on this like a deck chair recliner facing the sun, meditating, and I could see myself from above as if I was dissolving. But not physically, but somehow connecting to source and to this sea of reality. Now, do you remember when I said to you you asked me a question once when you hypnotized me and did some quantum healing on me, and my higher self was explaining that reality is like one big flat plane of existence. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What I was shown is that it's well beyond that. Right, so I was shown that source energy, source itself, is not like an individual consciousness that just I'm going to create the universe and then the universe happen. What I was shown is like source is like a sea of all possibility. It's like an energetic, loving vibration where anything can come into its own reality by even inventing itself. I don't know how that works, Debbie. I don't know. This is just what I was shown. And I was shown that, like, me, as I was melding into this reality, this big sea of source consciousness, I lost myself. I lost Alan Stockdale. I wasn't Alan Stockdale no more. I was just, for a brief second or two, I kept coming out of it, going back into it, like you do when you sort of get to this point, and your ego says, "Oh, what's this?" Quicker say it, you come back to So I kept doing that, but I kept experiencing this feeling of being everything and everywhere, and a connection to everything. Yeah, it's like I said, it's impossible to put into words what I was feeling. And like I said, the amount of people listening to this and done this know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like were you in like a flow, because I've been there where you're like kind of you're like, it's like a sea. You described it
Yeah,
as a sea.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
literally
yeah.
a river
Like
of
it was like
everything.
every direction was like imagine like an ocean. So let's just put it into some sort of context on an earthly
Yeah.
3D manner. So it's like I was in an ocean and I
Yeah.
was the ocean, but I
Yeah.
also was every individual drop of water in that ocean at the same
Yeah.
time. And I realised then, and then this comes on to the second meditation, which is on the same subject, so I'll not start again. So what I saw next time is that the more you realise you're part of this connection to this ocean of sourceness, like whatever you want to call it, source consciousness, the more you
Yeah.
realise you're there, the more your creative powers exponentially get better and better. And I saw how people can create a little bubble of reality and how somebody can be in two places at the same time, virtually next to each other. One can be
Yeah.
having the time of their life and one could be in hell, literally. But yet they're next to each other. But because that person's creating that bubble of reality, what he's creating is not delusional. It's just his reality. He's happy.
Right.
Nothing touches him. Nothing phases him. He wants something in life. It appears. That's because he's aware of it. He knows he can do it. And it's so what I'm saying is the more you meditate and the more you get to this state where I got to, it makes you realize how powerful you really are. And I saw the powerfulness, and then I saw how not just one bubble of reality, but I saw how people come together. Like, let's say like me and you now, we've had regular meetings on Zoom before we started recording, just discussing things.
Yeah.
And we've created like this little bubble, what's like ours.
Yeah.
And things are happening to you, and they're happening to me at the same time, aren't they? You had a meditation. Yes. We're in different time zones. You're in Canada. Yeah. I'm on London time, UK.
Yeah.
And
I'm in London time too.
In Canada. So we're 5 hours apart. Yeah, I was having a meditation, and then you told me, "Oh, I had this meditation. I was doing what? What time was that?" We worked out the time delay. It was the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is we're creating these bubbles of reality. What we're like creating them together. So because we're creating these, you know what I mean? And then I can see that how the negative ones using television, and how they can get people en masse, even people what are not aware of this sea of consciousness where I'm talking about, but still creating little bubbles, but all these little bubbles add up to bigger bubbles, and then that's giving it power to create what they want. Whereas it only takes one of us who's aware of this sea of consciousness and aware that they are creator to create a positive bubble, and it's just as big as thousands and thousands of all these ones what are not aware. So it's like I was being shown, and the message I got, and I seem to get this message from the higher self, from this source consciousness, I don't know, and it was just warning me to be very mindful now of what I put my attention on even more, because once you start to have these experiences and you start to realize how powerful you truly are, it's all right. Like I said before, I'm all right saying it. I know we're creators, but when you get this connection and you get this feeling, you sense the power. And I think to myself, yeah, I need to be really careful. And this week I have pulled myself back from even more, from just not concentrating on nothing. I'm trying to take myself away from everything negative and just like doing stuff like creating stuff. I've created a meditation, music and a video, and that took me all day to do that. But I feel that when I'm doing that, I'm in my zone and I'm creating. You know what I mean? I don't want to just sat watching YouTube videos about the latest.
It's easy to get sucked into that, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's easy. And then and then you'll have like friends sending you all this stuff that you really don't want to watch. I don't want to look at it because it sucks you into the negative part of creating.
Exactly. And when you know you're that powerful and you've seen the power you've got, and the point is, what I'm trying to make to everyone listening to this, if you had these sort of experiences, then you are a lot more powerful than the person that hasn't. So therefore you've got to be even more careful of so you don't watch this crap. You don't make it more.
What about if they are just equally as powerful? They just don't know it. And so then they are creating the negative. They are creating by even though they're not aware of it.
Well, I was shown there was they do that, and the negative people, the negative ones on this planet know that, but they only do it on a smaller scale because they haven't made this. Once they get this connection to the real power, what like I felt, like I said, it was a week ago now, but I do
Wow.
remember still feeling it.
Yeah.
And so I think we have got, because we're tapped into that level, it sort of
Yeah.
gives you the more creative power. Whereas a person what's fast asleep, they are
Yeah.
creating their own reality, but on a smaller scale. You know what I mean? So that's why it
Yeah.
takes a huge amount of them to make, and it only seems to take a few good guys to change the outcome. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? History's
Yeah.
full of situations like that, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Or you only need one powerful person to focus. But if you have, that's true. If you have another person, how powerful that really is. You know, I keep having this picture in my head. You know, the Matrix movie where they, I don't know which one it was. Maybe it's the third one, where he's they're supposed to be that. Whatever it is, it's supposed to be the programmer, the controller,
Yeah.
and he's in this room, the architect, so it is, and he's got like the screens on the back, and he's got all the pictures of Reeves there. What's his name in the movie? Neo, yeah. Different timelines. Different. There he is. Here. He's the same. You know, that keeps popping into my head with that. To say, okay, to show us, you know, this is who you are. Like, there's so many, there's an infinite number of possibilities. And he was like living this life over and over and over again, apparently, wasn't he, in that movie?
Yeah.
You know? And maybe it has nothing to do with learning lessons. I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. I mean, we've actually thinking about that, what happened last week. Something else has just come back to me. I saw another part when I was in this like area, this zone of this source consciousness, was I saw the progression as well. And I saw like the journey of the soul to become, like we've talked about this before, to be like, become your own sort of creator. And I actually could tangibly see how through the progression of getting to these different levels. So I've just touched on, let's say, the first level. Imagine what it's like if you touched onto the 100th level of this, whatever this awakening is, whatever this in this reality is, where you're in this year of source consciousness. I could see how the creative beings could actually literally create planets and universes, and yet they're all just in this big sea. And he says, and what I'm trying to get across as well with it, it's not like the source. I'm always thinking the source is like, you sort of think it's like a God type thing, don't you? Like, you know, the source power, and you're all factors of this source.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that. It's like we are the source without us. That's why I put the video meme up when I tried to put that. Then is basically we are all part of it, and without us, then it's just a sea of creativeness without no creation in it. You know what I mean? It's mind-blowing stuff, and it's really hard. It's hard to put into words, but
I mean, I guess it's your interpretation of what you think the fractals, what it means by fractals, you know, of source, like that you know, there's source, and then we're all these little fractals, but that's not really how it is. I agree.
Yeah, but I used to think it was.
Yeah, me too.
No, we are actually we're just in this. We're just choosing to be this point of consciousness called Alan and Debbie.
Yeah,
but really, we're all just part. We are source, and we just popped up as this consciousness felt now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You know, the thing is there was a lot of you know, religions that they would frown upon what we're saying, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Describing ourselves as you know, gods.
Yeah.
But because of all the religious connotation with that, you know, they didn't, that big bad God that's overlooking you and making sure you're not doing anything wrong, and if you do, you're going to go to hell. You're going to be reliving this all over again, and so on. Wow, it's mind-blowing stuff. I don't know if this has anything to do with what we're talking about. A little bit it does. So yesterday I'm out in the garden, and I'm looking around, and I look up in the sky, and this bird flies over. It's this white bird with black on it. I've never even seen them before. They're quite big. I'm like, oh, never seen that before. And it came into my mind. I have no idea why. okay, so if this is really, we're creating this reality, this is our, we're making this happen. I want to see another one of these birds. Sure enough, probably a minute later, another one flies by. Same. I said, okay. I've never seen these birds before. I said, okay, so let's try this again. I'm going to create this again. This is me creating this reality right here, right now, and I want to see this bird. I've never seen these birds before. I have no idea what they were. And when I looked, I said, okay, so let's do another one. Sure enough, not only was there one more, there was two more.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, I mean that ties in perfectly. So obviously, yeah, you're sort of proving in a 3D reality what I was just describing, how powerful we all are when you know that you are a creator by doing that.
Yeah.
When I said to you the other week, didn't I? I said, let me have some wind on me if I was laid in the sun. I'll have cool.
Not wind breeze. like you mean wind.
As in like.
Yeah,
and then one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. So we're proof that you can do it, and it's all to do with the belief as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? You know you're creating, you just know it, and you believe it because you know it, and it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then it's like you kind of doubt it, and then you ask, and then it's like it was so obvious to me. Like, I think I might have told you the other day, I don't know what texture or whatever it said. I came out and I was walking along the deck that we have around the pool, and I looked, and the cat was there. And I looked at the cat, and it was like it stopped. It's like the movie stopped. It's like the reality, like literally, it was like the cat was there, and then it was like a glitch, like where you're like, what? Like it was a
what was it doing? Was it walking? Or
it was just sitting, and it had his paw up. Only when it was the same thing and the same behavior that it was doing. Like, in other words, it was like someone had stopped the movie for a second and then started again. I don't even know I don't know if that explains it. It was like, it would be like this, and then I'd start again.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
And did everything else stop as well, or was it just the cat, or did
I was looking at the cat, so I don't know. It was it was like a literal glitch, I'm telling you. Like, it was like, okay, I'm making this. I'd never had that experience where that happened. Yeah. Where, like in the movie, like I know it's in that same movie where that Matrix, where the cat, but it wasn't, the cat was sitting, and it was similar to that. Only the cat was, it was like nothing. And I, like when something happens and you remember it really well, you're like, oh, I wasn't, I hadn't taken anything. I wasn't drinking. It was morning, and I'm like,
it's just obviously the universe showing you that you're right.
So what do they? What does that mean? Does that mean like it's showing the reality of what we're doing? Like here, we want to show you, like, we're going to show you that it's like a glitch. We could stop this. Like, what does it mean? For that to happen.
Maybe that's just it. It's just showing you that it is. It is just. I mean, if you think about sort of like a consciousness source where I was talking about was like a malleable and be anything you want it to be. I mean, there's so many conversations people have about this world we're in. Is it just some sort of
simulation?
Hologram? Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a hard light hologram where
I do
substance.
Too.
But that doesn't mean it's any less real than anything else.
Right.
What is real?
It was like that. It was like it just got a little glitch in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like when the plane flew into the towers. It wasn't like when the plane flew into the towers. It was much more subtle, but it was like, here, we want to show you this.
Yeah.
Like weird stuff like that happening. So we have these things. You have your things happening. I have my things happening, but they're similar. And then
like I said, we're in the same bubble of reality, me and you, in it, because we are having similar experiences, and then you've got that person read out those questions now, what that guy
Okay.
or
All
lady
right. Let
said
me
to you,
hang on.
compared to the experience I had, and the similarities are amazing.
So this person, Saito, you explained it was a viewer that had asked me some questions. I have 3 questions. First one: do parallel Earths exist with different variations in history in each of the infinite Earths? So
Well,
that
yeah, what I
you
saw
just answered that.
exactly. Yeah,
I did a meditation.
What happened?
Said yes.
Said
There
yes.
are infinite Earths. There's infinite everything.
Yeah.
It's not. He's asking about, or she, I think it's he, asking about Earth, but it's reality. It's infinite. Everything is infinite.
Yeah.
We just, if you want to step into like what you're describing, you step into this, maybe live that one for a while, step out, back out again, go to the other one, there could be 1,000 of
infinite,
those,
like I said,
or infinite, millions.
Well, the thing is, I mean, if everything is infinite, there's no time at all. Time doesn't exist, as we know. We only get the illusion of it where we are. So,
and why do you think that? What do you think that because that seems like a restriction? Why they gave us time
here? Because we're trying to experience the most densest possible restricted reality there is. I think what we experience here. I think so personally. I think having time, a sequence, gives you cause and effect, doesn't it? If you stab somebody or other, you're going to get done for murder because you've stabbed that person. Whereas if time didn't exist, you could just go forward and say, hang on, I'll not stab him, I'll come back in time. It wouldn't work, would it? So I think for us to have the experiences that what this place is designed for.
Now that makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. To experience it. Not so much to learn a lesson. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not so much his lessons. It is just experiences, isn't it? I mean, like if you're to grow pure creative conscious sea, and you can be anything you want. Why? Yeah. So that means then, if you live, if there's no time, so Source has been there forever, then obviously there's going to be every possibility, whatever of all the earths and all the different varieties. There has to be. Right. It's like that. Right. What's that saying now? If you have an infinite amount of monkeys with an infinite amount of typewriters, they will write the entire works of Shakespeare because they're bound to. Because if there's an infinite amount of them and an infinite amount of typewriters to go with them, one of them's bound to type in the right stuff eventually. Right stuff once. The right words, at least to make once, the entire works of Shakespeare. So same thing, isn't it, really? Yeah. The next question was, do infinite future timelines exist where there's a different future in different Earths? Well, I would say that's... Well, there's no time. No. So there is no future. There is no past. There's just now. I would say it's the same answer to question 1 and 2, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, yeah. Well, this one, the last one was about, do fictional characters like Harry Potter, the Avengers, exist in parallel universe or dimensions? I was told yes. Yeah, they do. Well, see, it's like I just said. You create... Yeah. You could create whatever you want. Yeah, exactly. We create it. Correct. Whatever we want. If we want to create, a world of giants. Yeah. We do. A planet. Already, so yeah. Like where we have those giant trees, the giant, what are those giant people were called? Starts with an N, I think. Nephilim. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So we've already done that. So maybe moving on to the smallest people that's ever lived now. Then. Well, we can't see the fairies and stuff that are out in the grass, and we just can't see them. Oh, by the way, I never forgot. I didn't tell you, did I? Do you remember weeks and weeks and weeks ago? I said I was outside in the dark and I took some photos, and I sent you those photos, and I said there was lights in the background. You never guess. I finally worked out what there was. You'll never guess. It's actually quite funny. So I've got my phone, right? So I've got it on selfie mode, like that, taking photos, and I see these 2 bits of light. Now, to give you a clue, when I meditate like this with no glasses on, right? Yeah, me too. Right? When I pick my phone up to use it, I put my glasses on. And what it was the reflection from the front of my screen, the very, very, when you're taking a photo, and it was reflecting on my glasses. And when I moved it, it slightly moved it. And I finally worked out what it was. So it just shows you how you think, you've experienced something. Even though I wasn't convinced, I felt something there listening to me. And because I saw those lights, I put 2 and 2 and made 5. And it just shows you how it can be wrong. And it turned out to be reflecting in my glasses. It's amusing.
I thought it was a pretty cool. I wanted something else, but it was like
me too, but there you go. But there's definitely spirits in those trees out there. Oh, did I tell you? That's another thing we haven't spoke about the collective either, have we?
No.
Have I told you about that? All right, before we go, what this was about.
Should we save that one for the next one?
No, it's only short. It's only a short.
Okay.
It's basically what it was. I was under my pyramid doing a meditation at night time, and I was just basically there. I didn't have no meditation music or anything. I was just connected to nature, and I just felt this presence around me. And in my meditation, I could see like a connection to all the trees. And the trees then started talking to me. So it wasn't one voice. It was they called themselves collective, not the collective, but just collective. So I said, hello, collective. And at this point, I always have my sphere of protection on me where I use it as a filter, as you know, it's like a source filter. So I know anything that comes through to me it's not meaning me any harm, put it that way. It's not trying to trick me. And it was a collective of all the trees in this area. And they told me that they've been expecting me, and they're glad that I've connected with them. And then they said to me, "Do you want us to help you heal?" So I went, "Well, of course. How do you help?" And they told me that they help by being the anchor to this reality, like as in Earth, as in like because they're so connected, and all the roots, and not just the roots are connected, but if they want to, they're energetically connected to all the trees on the planet. So if they want to pull. They've got a lot of power for these collective trees, but totally benevolent. They're only here for us, basically. It's only the only reason they're here. And they did say when you do some healing, if it's someone you think you need some help, just call us in, and we'll help to anchor you. And they're apparently somehow connecting to them on a base level. And they'll sort of get me into like Mother Earth somehow, and that helps. And I did. And so when I was doing this meditation, I said to him, "Oh, next time I do some healing, then I'll remember." So they went, "Well, why don't you do some now?" Then I went, "Okay, then, all right." so I did, and I did. I felt I could feel the power. I could feel
that's
the power.
Good.
Yeah, and it's thinking about it, I did that, and then the other experiences followed it. So I wonder if that was a prelude to being more connected to like source in that, what we talked about in the earlier today. That somehow connected with this collective of trees has somehow raised my vibration, or I don't know, something. I don't know. But
well, maybe because they're so powerful. I mean, when I meditate outside, I connect with the tree that's there. But I'm gonna have to, I'll connect and see what they say, what she says about healing and stuff, because that's really interesting to me.
And then maybe to me, it sounds like these trees, they're not just individuals. They definitely have it's not a hive consciousness, but they're all connected. Yeah, they're all connected very, very closely. And they don't have to be touching root-wise. They don't even have to be in the same continent. I was told that it's an energetic connection. If they want to, they can join forces. And
maybe we could talk about that next time, in more detail about the trees. I know others have mentioned the trees, but I would be really interested in that. Yeah.
We'll do some more meditation, see if we can get a bit more information for everyone. Yeah.
We'll do.
So shall we call that quits then for today, shall we?
Yeah.
So I'd just like to say to all the technicals, what we're trying to get me not to work today. Did it work? Did it?
Didn't work. Yeah.
All right, then. So I'll speak to you next week then, Debbie.
All right.
And everyone else.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.